one, you do not have to do any kind of astral projection to achieve. And so this one, you really don't need a whole lot of, shifting between that trance-like state. Some of us can just get the vision just by sitting there and being quiet and kind of focusing. But just in case you need something, maybe I'll play a little something to try and get you into that kind of meditative state. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Most of what I'm actually going to spend time on in this one is actually kind of explaining, okay, this is, step by step what to do. And there might be a little bit of silence in there as well, just to give you some time. But most of it is just going to be heavily guided. So it's a bit different tactic that we're going to use today. This is really only for what you would call therian or animal soul people. I usually like the term animal soul, it rings better with me. Basically anyone who, you know that your soul is not completely human. You've probably had a past life or two, maybe a lot, something other than human. And a lot of us even identify with, that side of us, that animal side of us, a lot more than the human side. Most of us, I'd say, if we've given it any thought, can at least pinpoint a general species that we are, but you might not know the subspecies, and you might not know whether or not it's more than one species. It can be a mixture, and honestly, when you're looking for, I'll be honest right away, visionary stuff is odd. There's stuff in it that you're going to see that you're not going to make sense. And most often than not, the biggest thing that I hear people saying is that they see some kind of hybrid. And usually what that means, if it's a hybrid of more than one animal, it's telling you that, okay, your spirit is, these halves of you are too important to be left out. And so your spirit, the form of that your spirit would take naturally, it doesn't want to be one or the other, because it's too important to be only one or only this or only that. And so it has to be together. So those hybrids actually is quite common when you're doing this, to see something like that. And usually that is what that means. Sometimes it can stretch on a little further into what most people would, consider mythical creature. It's not that far-fetched to talk about, dragon or any kind of stuff like that. Even in modern paganism, a lot of modern pagans believe that, that at least exists in the spirit realm. Ancient paganism, which is what I teach, believes that while it's very rare and very difficult to achieve, it could exist in the physical realm, but usually stuff like that is really hidden nowadays. So we'll get into that in other videos, but basically what I'm about to do is start that process of taking you into that, and it's going to be quite quick, no more than about 8 to 9 minutes probably. I want you to get yourself ready in a comfortable position, preferably sitting down, maybe even lying down if that suits you better, in a dark space, a quiet space. Okay, nothing, no lights distracting, and preferably, no other background things going on. Most of us have a lot of racing thoughts just naturally, so I need you to quiet your mind real quickly. I'm going to do something a bit in a minute to help you quiet your mind, because sometimes we need a little bit of a... So really the only thought that you're allowed to have as you're going into this vision is that, can't be thinking about what you're having for dinner, can't be thinking, no. The only thought you're allowed to have is, okay, what am I? What do I look like? Those kind of thoughts. What species am I? What's colour my fur? That kind of thing. But you cannot think anything outside those lines, okay? I'm going to play something real quick to try and help you get into that sort of altered state. Some people need a little bit of help getting into... If you're exceptionally visionary, you don't have to have that altered state, but a lot of us do need to be in at least a slightly altered state to get that vision. It's nowhere near the level, like I said, of astral projection, like what you'd have to do for past life regression. But it still just helps to kind of quiet your mind and get you into that meditative state. So I'm going to play something real quick, and then I'm going to continue with the guided visionary. Hopefully that's kind of taken the edge off your mind a bit and made you a little bit more relaxed. Not the best player, but now I'm gonna do this right along with you. So I'm gonna be going into this, vision as well, and so I need to now make it dark for me so that I can do this. Close your eyes, ask your spirit guardians to give you the answers you seek, to lead you along that path. Keep in mind that you must be 100% hollow in order to receive the answer correctly, meaning you cannot at all have any assumption or prediction into what you might see. You have no thought at all. There are no words in your head. There are no pictures in your head. It's completely blank. I want you to imagine just a void of blackness, like the night sky, but with no stars and no moon. Just a void, a dark void. Anything that you think you know, whether it is accurate or not, you have to put it aside. Anything that you might know about yourself, you have to put it aside. Because you cannot assume. To get the vision correctly, you have to be what we call fully hollow. And if you are fully hollow, the answer will flow through you without anything tainting it. I want you now to imagine your own soul, a reflection of it, manifesting in front of you, looking back at you, the true form of that, who you really are, what you feel inside, the animal, the creature that you are, in your heart, staring back at you in this manifested reflection, surrounded by this void of nothingness. As it is manifesting, I want you to continue to blanken your mind. No thoughts, remember. You're not allowed to have thoughts. Just watch and observe What form is it taking? Does it even have a form yet? Or is it still manifesting? You're literally looking back at the core of your soul. What you are at your core. You know it's not human. What is it? Are you canine? Are you a hooved creature? Are you feline? Are you some type of reptile? Amphibian? What are you? Do you have wings? What do your ears look like? What does your muzzle look like? Do you have a tail? Whatever you see, if it's truly untainted and truly pure, meaning you have not put assumption in it or prediction, whatever you see is what you really are. And there may be things that you do not understand. Ask your spirit guardians if there is something you see that you do not understand, why it looks like that. I want you to ask them where it comes from. What I see in my vision of what my soul is a black wolf with kind of smallish wings, like wings that couldn't fully take flight, maybe glide. It looked kind of like dragon or bat wings. And then goat horns, black. Keep in mind that doing this may give you more questions than answers in the beginning. For example, when I did that, I wanted to assume that the horns were dragon horns, but they looked so much like a goat's horns, and the chin, the goat chin, was making me think good. Yet I had never in my life thought about good as being a part of me. You know, I'd always thought about wolf, and I could sort of see dragon, but I had that the goat was a complete surprise to me. And I had to do past life regression work and other visionary work to find out all the answers to these questions that it unearthed. And to get the full vision, the complete full reflection even, took me several times. It started out as just little flashes of things, and that's completely normal, especially if you're like me and that was one of the first visions you ever got, you know, and you were just getting your feet wet in this. It will take a while. So I just turned on the light. Now that you know what to do, you can do this on your own again and again, you know, as many times as you need to. And then, of course, you know, do maybe a little longer session on your own, because unfortunately that's all I have time, all I have means for on this platform is this.